Hello everyone, how are you? I am Marie with Aunt Ree's Quilt Shop, and I just wanted to get on here and introduce myself, let you know who I am, what I do, and that kind of fun stuff. Like I said, my name is Marie. I am the owner of Aunt Ree's Quilt Shop. I started this about a year and a half ago, officially changed the name to Aunt Ree's Quilt Shop last February 1st. So I've really been doing this for about a year as far as owning my own online quilt store. I am online only. I'm actually in Central Texas and looking to start teaching some classes here locally if you are local. But I'm still working on getting all of that set up, that kind of fun stuff. I have been quilting for just over 22 years. I made my first quilt when I was pregnant with my second child, who just turned 22. I learned to sew making clothing and absolutely hated it. Never touching another machine. I hate it. Don't even ask me to sew a button on. Okay? I used to go hang out with my mom at the quilt shop just to get out of the house while the oldest one was in Mother's Day Out. So I would see things and just, mom and her friends would go and visit other shops and things like that. We actually lived in the Houston area, so there were quite a few around at the time. One day we went to Galveston for a day trip, did lunch, hit a couple of quilt shops, and I walked into a shop in Galveston and saw a quilt on the wall that I had to have. I want that. Mom, will you make that for me? And she looked at me and said, "You're crazy. I'm not making that." Well, I had to have it. So I kept walking around the store. I'm like, okay, whatever. Walk around the store, and I kept coming back to it. She's like, "I'm not making that for you. You're crazy. I ain't doing it." Okay, so what if I helped make it? She said, "If you will piece the top, I will quilt it for you. I'll finish it. Just piece the top." Okay, I can do that. So I bought the pattern, and the next week we had a weekly bee that we met at a shop down there. And her friend that was with us when we were out shopping helped me pick out all the fabrics I needed. Well, I had picked a watercolor Irish chain. So when you're doing watercolors, you want it to gradually fade from one color to another. If you're using color pencils or markers or something like that, that's a little bit easier to do than with fabrics. Thankfully, the store had a ton of fabric available, and we spent a better part of the day picking out my fabrics. It goes from a cream to a black, and they're all floral. So you change one of them out, and you got to change three of them because it no longer is gradually going from one color to another. So anyway, we bought all the stuff. The next Wednesday, I came back to B with a completed top for a queen size watercolor Irish chain. Everybody thought I was crazy. Like, what did you do? Did you not clean your house? Did you not cook? Well, when I decide to try something new, sometimes I tend to jump off the deep end. That was my very first quilt. I gave it to my mom. She decided it was too big for her to quilt on her machine. Couldn't really figure out the logistics of all of it. And a friend of ours bought a long arm and was starting to quilt for the public. So she was a little bit cheaper at the time. And so she actually took it and quilted it for me on her long arm. No robotics, freehand. I'll have to get it out in one of my other videos. I'll get it out and show you. I didn't think to put it up today. But baskets of flowers in the cream space. And then it gradually changes to black. So I tend to do things like that, jump off the deep end. It really wasn't as hard as it looks because the way the pattern was written. So I tend to gravitate towards patterns that look really difficult, but are really easy. And a lot of times once you break these patterns down, they're really not as hard as it looks like it is. A little bit more about me. I have 2 grown children. One still lives here in Texas. One is in California with his wife. So hopefully before too much longer, they'll be coming back. But for now, they're in California. It is what it is. I managed a shop until about a year and a half ago when we moved. I was manager. I was helping run that shop. That kind of, just the day-to-day, managing the employees, helping with the inventory, sometimes placing orders, that kind of stuff. And then we moved, and it was a little too far for me to try to drive. And so I decided to go ahead and launch my own online store. Like I said, I am only online right now. So I'm just trying to find different ways to reach out to y'all and do some fun things. I do have a Facebook page. I go live weekly on my Facebook page pretty much every week. We do sew-alongs. I do tips and tricks. We do some fun things along the way. So if you want to jump on Facebook and follow me there, you absolutely can. You are welcome to do that. I'm also on Instagram. I'm planning on trying to do about every week or so, post a new video here on YouTube. So if you want to follow me, you'll get notifications on that. I love teaching beginning quilters. I love taking someone who thinks that's too hard for me and helping them bite-sized step, one bite at a time. How do you eat an elephant thing? One bite at a time. If you take this huge project that's overwhelming and break it down to doable steps and do one thing at a time, it's not as hard as it seems to be, as it looks. I've done some very complicated looking quilts that really weren't that hard. So there's a lot of those kinds of things. When I first started quilting, I was a young mom. Like I said, I was pregnant with my second child. I had a 2-year-old. Funds, we didn't have a whole lot of money for me to spend on this. My mom's friends would give me fabrics that they weren't using. We were left over from a project, so a lot of the things that I made were from those kinds of things. I did some blocks of the month because I could break it up into like $10 a month, that kind of fun stuff. And so there are ways to break it up. There are also ways to, save money. You don't need to buy every tool under the sun. Yes, I am a quilt shop owner. Yes, I sell tools. You don't need all of them. There are ways to make what you have work instead of buying a new tool. And I'm going to show you, those are some of the videos I'm going to do, is to show you some of those tips and tricks and that kind of thing. You need a quick baby gift. I can show you how to make a quick, inexpensive baby gift. Yes, it's going to be a little bit more than going and buying them a package of diapers, but it's also going to mean a whole lot more, and you don't have to spend $500 on a baby quilt. So like I said, I love teaching beginners, breaking things down. Quick and easy projects are what I like to share with people. I have written several patterns. I'm in the process of getting those published and out to some other shops and things like that. I like to teach new techniques because sometimes one little thing, and guys, I'm still learning too. I learned something a couple of years ago on how to make the ends of your binding join up without having to overlap them. Game changer. Why did no one teach? I've been doing this for 20 years. Why did no one teach me that? So when I come across those kinds of things, I'm going to share it with you because some of them are huge game changers and make your life a whole lot easier. I love to help people step outside of their box, teach you how to choose colors, use a fabric that you wouldn't necessarily use. I would have customers come in when I worked at the store and say, I just want to do something different. I'm tired. Everything I make looks the same because I use the same color palette. Okay, then go, walk around the store, pick one thing that you love, but is outside the box, and then we pick colors from that. And I'm going to do videos on how to show you how to do that. All of those kinds of things. Like I said, new skills, how to pick your colors. My goal is not to do it for you. It's to teach you how to do it for yourself. So that's pretty much what I like to do. Like I said, a little bit about me. You're welcome to follow me on the other socials and that kind of stuff. But if you will hit the like button, subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications every time I post a new video. All of that kind of fun stuff. So that helps me out tremendously. Share it with your friends. And then we will just keep trucking here. I am really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to connecting with y'all and connecting with more people and being able to teach you how to do things so that it's not so overwhelming. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.